After being pressed by Jim Jones, DJ Akademiks seems to want revenge on a subconscious level. On Akademiks' most recent live streams, Akademiks made it a point to point out Jim Jones as a bozo. Says that he's really an old YN, a senior citizen, is what he referred to Jim Jones as. It seems to me that Akademiks is mad that he got pressed at NBA YoungBoy show and none of the hooligans he was with actually did anything about it. It looked like if Jim actually wanted something done to Ak in that moment while he was at the NBA YoungBoy show in Brooklyn, it could have happened, champ. Numerous Timberlands could have landed on your face, champ. Now my question is Akademiks safe talking crazy about Jim Jones when they both live in the same state of New Jersey?
Sipping slow, yakking the act, taking them in.
Oh, champ. Run up these likes. Make sure you hit that hype button as well, because it helps the channel in a major way up them hype points. So check it out, man. Akademiks is poking the bear. Alright, he wants issues with Jim Jones for whatever dumb reason after he just got pressed by Jimmy about a good month ago in Brooklyn at NBA YoungBoy's concert. Now, why in the world is Ak still trying to cause trouble with this guy? I think it's because on a subconscious level, Akademiks is still bothered by the entire altercation when it took place. He clearly has PTSD. He's very traumatized by how his conversation with Jimmy pretty much went. Jimmy threatened Akademiks, let him know that, look, if I wanted something done, it could get done. And Akademiks clearly felt some type of way, so much so he mentioned it on his stream as well as on Vladtv. But we have to revisit him speaking on the entire ordeal on his stream, because this is where he tries to act confused as if he's just 100%. Like he has absolutely no idea what's going on and why it's happening.
I was walking quickly to get to Birdman, but right behind Birdman was Jim Jones. I'm walking mad quickly, but I ain't gonna lie to you, I think the way Jim seen it was like I'm walking up on him. I swear. Birdman, then I see Jim Jones, and I'm like, oh shit, Jim, what up? Now Jim, what up back at me is a different type of what up. He's like, nigga, what up? And I'm like, whoa. I'm gonna give Jim his credit. Jim was the oldest YN in the building, but he was on YN timing. I'm gonna keep it a beat. I go over to say, yo, Jim, we gotta get up and we gotta go do the interview. That's what I'm like, we gotta go do the interview. I don't know if it's because YoungBoy was on stage. Jim Jones turned to a YN on me. Jim Jones was like, yo, hold on, let me holler at you, man. Let me holler at you. Jim is like, yo, listen, man, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, all right, what up, what's good? He kept asking questions like, yo, do y'all think the shit y'all do online is cool? So I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm kind of confused, honestly. I'm legit confused. I didn't get too much info out of him, but he mentioned 6ix9ine. He said, whatever 6ix9ine. Then he's like, yo, y'all gotta know, yo, it ain't safe when niggas is playing with me like that. And I'm thinking about, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I kept trying to ask him, I said, what me and 6ix9ine gotta do with you, or what I gotta do with if you and 6ix9ine got something. Rappers are the best that if they can't find the person they don't like, someone else inherits. So it's like Dave Free seeing me, and Dave Free saying, yo, well, I'll never see Drake ever in life, so let me tell you why I'm mad at Drake. Okay, cool. I think I'm like, yo, is he mad at, like, how is he mad at 6ix9ine and coming at me? Y'all two were 9 Trey Bloods. I was never a 9 Trey Blood, and I don't want to be one.
So it appears that Ak is still bothered by this. He has not forgotten this situation. He clearly wants revenge when it comes to this situation, and now he's trying to get in where he fits in by saying that Jimmy has a second childhood, the same narrative that all of the Nas fans have ran with after he tries to say that his catalog is better than Nas's or bigger than Nas. So people have went in on Jimmy based on his disrespect of Nas and Nas's legacy, trying to compare his to Nas's and etc. Then Max B comes home, who we clearly had beef with based on a Nasty Bird Gang contract that Max clearly didn't like. He went off on a tangent talking about he slept with Jimmy's girl named Chrissy. He said he slept with Jimmy's girl Chrissy. She touched it in Miami, etc., etc. He said he was gonna delete Jimmy's son, who was literally just a kid back in like 2008. He made a song called Poetik. It got bad. It got nasty. And, you know, him and Max B have been at odds for a long time. Max recently squashed the beef while incarcerated. But now, everyone is siding with whoever goes against Jim Jones, pretty much. Everyone's siding against whoever goes against Jimmy, except for Akademiks. See, Akademiks can't win for trying to win. Alright, you'll lose for winning when you're Akademiks, pretty much. You can't do what you just did, and you spoke to a 15-year-old boy in a very weird manner. You can't just do what you just did and think that people are gonna side with you. You already have turned people against you, alright? You're pretty much leaving a bad taste in people's mouths. They not gonna rock with you. Even if you go with Jimmy, people might side with Jimmy when it comes to you. Tekashi 6ix9ine and Wack 100 have disrespected Jimmy on a new level, calling him a rat and etc. And now you're jumping on the narrative that he's just an old YN and he's lame and all this nonsense. Where was this energy when you met Jim Jones? You didn't tell him none of this stuff. You were trying to be compliant. You didn't want to leave there scuffed up and bruised up and lumped up like Ja Rule left when he was at that Brandy concert in Brooklyn. So you would have got the same treatment that Ja Rule got in that same exact arena, because YoungBoy performed there like a good month ago, had that went the wrong way. Don't you know that, champ? So I don't know why you hooting and hollering now, because apparently the privilege has hit your system. And when I say privilege, I'm talking about Hennessy, by the way. Yeah, the alcohol, he got some liquid courage, and now he's talking pretty crazy about Jimmy. Now he's saying that, hey Jim, you're old. You need to wisen up. You need to act your age, champ, because you're about to be 50. Like, you're literally less than a year away from turning 50, and this is the way that you're acting. So he went on his stream and told Jimmy about himself.
Are New York City gentlemen in their 40s and 50s having, I won't even call it a midlife crisis, but they're literally having like this like almost stunted development? All the 50-year-old men who were gangsters and cool dudes back in the day seem to have the most childish ideals. They're all dressing like they're YNs, acting as if they are children, and they're still playing the same childish games as if they were 14 and 15. Now, Jim Jones, who we all know, he is what we call a senior citizen. We just have to be honest. Jim Jones is someone living out a fifth childhood, and it's okay. I don't necessarily mind the drip. I just would hope he would use some Beijing, because I think the gray hair peppered around the tight jeans and muscle shirts throws me off. That's it. Other than that, I actually do. I like Jim Jones, not only for his music. I like the fact that Jim Jones is showing that no matter how old you are, he's always fit in shape. And even though he might need to work out the legs, he's in the gym all the time, obviously, right? And I actually do like that, right? Now, one person I thought wouldn't be added to this list is Fabulous. Now, Fabulous is one of those guys, you know, I've always said I've listened to Fabulous music for over 10 years, and I don't know one thing about this. He got all the punchlines, for everything, but I've never thought his music was a great reflection of giving me an insight into his world, and maybe I've just listened differently than other people. But Fabulous is also one of those people that when I see him on Instagram, I kind of be like, yo, is he trying to dress like a YN too? I can't tell. Now, I like Fabulous. You know what I mean? Fabulous is always like, at a point in New York City history, he was like, to me, the coolest guy. He was always seen as like the coolest guy from New York, right? However, I just want to, let me see, how old is Fabulous? Fabulous is 48 years old. These days when I'm seeing Fabulous, you know, by the way, there's nothing wrong with trying to dress well, but at certain points, I'm like, is Fab serious? Like, I can't really tell, and I don't want to.
Now, this is cool and all. I'm pretty sure people are gonna get laughs off. I'm pretty sure people who hate Jimmy are gonna agree, but they're not going to resonate with you saying it. By the way, yeah, they're not gonna resonate with you saying it. See, Akademiks is a loser for trying to win. Yeah, he trying to get in with the safe crowd who are all against Jimmy, and a lot of people are against Jimmy. I mean, it's been that way since he got into it with True Life way back when at the Rucker. People didn't really take Jimmy serious after that, to be honest, but it only got worse after the whole non-trade Rico, and of course that wiretap phone call with Mel Murder and Jim Jones goes viral. People are automatically assuming that there's some ratting going on when there's no ratting going on at all. It's just being very misconstrued because people don't know what's happening in that wiretap or the conversation. And 6ix9ine made it a point to make Jimmy look like a rat. So because of these things, and because Jim's name keeps coming up, Jimmy pressed Akademiks when he saw him because he clearly doesn't like the narrative. It's disgusting, and Akademiks is platforming these people to talk crazy about these guys. So when one of those guys responds and you act like you have nothing to do with it when you're just as guilty because you're guilty by association and you're platforming the disrespect, champ, you can't just act as though you had no hand in this, champ. You have a huge hand in it. In fact, you're the one broadcasting it, which makes you a primary suspect in the matter. Now you're trying to talk crazy when you wasn't talking crazy to Jimmy, and you was trying to reach, some type of compromise so you don't leave there harmed, okay? You didn't want to leave the Barclays Center harmed, now did you, champ? So you made sure you complied with Jimmy, okay? Now you're going on this tangent saying that Jimmy is like a bozo, a loser, and etc. But why didn't you tell him that then, champ? You didn't feel safe. That's why now that you're in the comfort of your own home, you are talking very reckless about Jim Jones. But crazy thing is, y'all live in New Jersey right now, both of you guys. He got a crib in New Jersey and you got a crib in New Jersey. So nothing is probably stopping you two from seeing each other again now. Ain't that right, champ? So right now, things could get real ugly for Akademiks, especially after Meek Mill invited him to the Meek and Friends Fest out there in goddamn Philadelphia. It would have got real ugly for Ak over there too. So people who are connected, people who are working together, definitely want to make sure that they get Akademiks. I ain't gonna lie. They might be trying to set up Ak right now. Ak might be in more trouble than he actually knows. Yeah, he may be cool with these artists who have street ties, but you don't have street ties, and you have definitely platformed a lot of things that go against what people believe in and definitely destroy people's livelihoods. So for that, there may be some consequences. I'm just gonna be honest about the situation. But what do y'all think about this in the comment section, man? Where is this gonna go? With Ak gonna get himself caught up? What do you think? Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section. Also smash the like, share the video. Also hit the hype button because it helps the channel in a major way. Hit that hype button, gang. Also subscribe to the main second channel known as Big Gotham Fire channel with nearly 1,000 subscribers. Also go to the main Discord called Big Gotham as well with nearly 1,000 users to Fire Discord. Plus the mayor's Twitter page called Showface News. Listen, everything's in the pinned comment. Hit those links. And one more thing before we get all the way up out of here. Are you ready, gang? It's the mayor. The one and only New York Mayor, F. Mom Donnie, and you're rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham. You already know it's the town versus everybody. At all times, hit the like, share the video. I'm out of here, gang. Salute.